Hello divas, dudes, and dolls, I'm Caricature, and welcome back to my luscious, lovely, and vivacious little review show, Very Slay, where we go over each and every main stage runway look on Drag Race Thailand Season 3. It was the Rusical this week, and while once again I did not understand the cultural references, and I will have to do some research before I really formulate my own thoughts on everything, I do think the results were correct throughout the whole episode, so I'm not mad at the way it turned out. On the runway this week, the theme was Love is Blind, and most people went hearts, love, lots of red this week, but then people also did like whiteout contacts and eye things. So again, I'm sure there is a Thai cultural element into this runway as well that my wide ass just did not get. Because of that, we will be talking about these looks primarily on an objective fashion level this week. And when we get into these looks, as always, if I think that they got the job done, didn't blow me away, but they were, decent, we give them an okay. If I absolutely love them, we give them a slay. And if I didn't like them for any reason, we give them a nay. That's all in efforts to find my weekly slay of the day, my favorite look of the entire episode. And whichever look takes that top spot today will go head to head against Frankie Wonka's clown look from last week to battle that out to be our new slay of the season. Whichever look holds that top spot once we have crowned a new Thai drag superstar. I will be doing a little illustration of that. Sneak peeks can be found over on my Patreon starting at the $3 tier level. And if you want a full review of my opinions on the episode at large, you can find that along with a review of every other episode that is airing this week in drag television on my Patreon by joining as a free member. Be sure to do that, the link is in the description, but if you want to throw a little $1 or $2 or $3 or $5 my way, there are options. And as always, before we get into these looks, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, all those lovely little things, to keep all kinds of Drag Race fashion coverage in your subscription feeds. Without further delay, let's dive on into these looks. First up this week is Gigi Ferocious, who once again fell into the bottom 2 today. And this look, it's a Fashion Nova or Akira heart-shaped jacket. I've seen these before. I mean, famously on Darby Lynn Cartwright on her show. And I almost bought one for myself one time for a number, but then I chose not to because I also did not get booked for the show that I applied for that I would have gotten that out before. The outfit underneath it, it's just a little harnessy bodysuit with some chains. It's cute. It's not incredible. The hair, not my favorite. I like the leopard print that's kind of incorporated into it. I think that's kind of a fun little design note. It's just bland, Like, it's a well-designed piece, but I'm missing the wow factor. It's gonna be an okay. Up next, we have Spicy Sunshine, who did something that I wasn't sure was even possible. She did a look that I thought wasn't absolute dog shit, for once. Definitely the best thing she's worn in the competition, by a long shot. Her concept here was quite fun, of being like a giant who eats eyeballs, having like the little glass full of them, and she just kept popping them like candy as she walked the runway. I like the sheer element here that I don't normally like with her looks. I think works for this one because it's presented in a very different way. The skirt's is a good silhouette. I do wish there was more to it. It is kind of an overall bland piece, but I think it is significantly better for her than what we've been seeing, so I will be giving her a soft slay today. Then up next we have CM Pusui. At first I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. And then she took the headpiece off and revealed this really awful wig that was just like a mess underneath it. And then took the outfit off to reveal this little bodysuit. I think she overcomplicated it. I didn't really care for either of these. The first look was actually pretty good. The second look, not exciting in any way. It's a lip sync outfit. I'm gonna give it a barely an okay, because the first part of it was pretty good, pretty nice. I will say, I am gonna miss being wowed on the runway by whatever awful look she wears. So, much love to her. Hope she's doing better now. Hope her looks are better now. But, oh diva, she was getting rode hard and put away wet by these fashion themes. It's just not great. Especially when you compare it to our next queen on the runway, Nane Sphera, who really stole the show from me this week. This look is just so cool. The shape of it is amazing. The scale is really impressive. And I think she makes everything that she wears too. She's got fun concepts. I just really like what she does. Aesthetically, she's one of my favorite queens in the competition. There's a few times where I'm like, this isn't the color palette I would choose for some of this, or it's not the hairstyle I would do with this outfit. But I think this hair makes sense with the dress, and the shapes and everything all work really well together. And you can't go wrong with this little peppermint fantasy. I know it's not like directly a peppermint thing, but red and white works well together. After all, they were my high school colors and my college colors, and they just remind me of Christmas in a way, because candy canes, and that's coming up soon. So I'm gonna give this a slay. Then we have ZP, who was giving us a diva who's collected eyeballs and then she pops one in. The presentation of this, where she's got like the giant empty eye socket where she walks with the eye closed and then she takes the eye, kind of puts it in and opens it, and then it's like the color of the eyeballs she was carrying. That's a really smart little detail that I really enjoyed. In general though, it's a gown. Like it's a very pretty gown, but it's like mostly a catsuit with a skirt over the top of it. I think in terms of her other looks, she's had ones that are just way more successful to me in terms of nailing the concept. I'm gonna give this look a soft slay because the presentation really delivered it for me, but I think her being safe is very apt this week. Then we have Frankie Wonga. I love this hair. I love this hair so much. It's such a cool shape. It's very Lady Tremaine. If Lady Tremaine had been like possessed by a ghost, you know, because of the eyes. The makeup's cool. I love what she did with the eye makeup in terms of the shapes here. The overall silhouette of this too is really, really cool. And like it feels very traditional Thai, but it also feels very fashion and fashion forward at that. At the same time, the skirt detail is really cool. But I think the pattern balancing in terms of color placement is really well done too. So it's gonna be a slay. And finally this week we have Godland. And this is my favorite look from her on the runway in this competition. I think the veil could have been longer. Really, my only critiques for this is that I wish she had a different necklace, and I wish that the veil was longer and like went to the floor. But everything else with this, perfect. I love the silhouette of it. I love the fabric choice, the drape and the cut on this gown. Really, really stunning, and it's really flattering on her. And for a queen who's really minimal in terms of aesthetic, I like seeing her play with shape a little bit more. So this was a fun week for me. And I think she definitely deserved to get a win after coming so close to getting it last time. But this is going to be a slay. And now it's time to pick my slay of the day, my favorite look of the week. And really it comes down to one real contender, and that is going to be Nana Spira. And when I put this look head to head against Frankie's clown look, I can't believe I'm doing this again already. But I think I'm gonna put Nana in that top spot. I think this would be really fun to draw. I think I could do a whole little scene out of this. And I could with Frankie as well. But the second this walked around the corner, I was kind of smacked in the face with the concept and the idea that I had in my head for this piece. So that's what we're doing. And we will just have to find out if she can maintain that top spot for more than a week. Because Frankie has been holding it basically solely this entire competition. So we will see you whenever we see you. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe once again, and go out there, y'all. Stay kind, stay queer, and make sure that your day is very slay.